So welcome to Camp Caritas. My name is Anthony Evans. I was a camper here for the first time about 12 years ago. I was a camper for a few years. I went through the leadership, eventually became a director. Unfortunately, last year was my last year. I just came this year to volunteer, but I'm happy to show you around. So I'm going to take you over to Winiuskawin. We'll see you there. So here we are at Winiuskawin. This is sort of the heart of the camp. We start the very first day. All the kids are going to come and sit in there at their appropriate benches, find out which cabin they're going to be in. We get to introduce ourselves as a staff, then eventually we kind of split off and start the day. But throughout the weeks, we have multiple times where we're coming in here throughout the day, little sort of in and outs. Kids come in, find out what they're doing for the rest couple of hours, then they get to split off. So it's a big communal space. This is where Father Baxter typically gives his little speeches in the mornings. After their fire talks at night, they come back in and share what they sort of discussed from the previous night, share that to the entire camp. We'll do a little morning prayer and then we'll set off for the day. So I'll take you inside so you can have a look at it. You can see here we've got multiple cabins for all the different, we've got a total of 8 cabins, 4 junior and 4 senior. Comes around to about 10 to 11 kids per camp. And basically, like I said, this is an area that's a communal space here. There's a little logo in the front, learn it, live it, teach it. That's sort of the message we have this year. Every year is a different theme. In general, as you can see in the back there, we've got a little heart with multiple religious symbols on there. Big thing at camp is we're accepting of all people. We do our best to not be judgmental here and just very open to all sorts of religious backgrounds, faiths, and spiritual sort of histories there. Here we are at the main house. This is where the leaders typically sleep during the work weeks, but it's also where the camp comes in 3 days a week to come and eat breakfast, lunch, and supper. I'll bring you in there. It's a nice little dining hall we've got here. So as you can see, we've got tons and tons of tables. We've got to make room for about 90 kids, plus staff, plus volunteers, plus fathers. So it comes out to about 110 people that we've got sort of crammed in here. Like I said, this is one of our fellow helpers here, John Hallis, and we also have a chef. His name's Tom Green. He's been here for probably, I would say, 30, if not 35 years. So we're extremely lucky to have him. Cooking for 100 people is a big challenge, but he keeps us well fed and well hydrated and well nourished for the lots of sports and activities that we've got going here. So here we are on the waterfront of Camp Caritas here in the beautiful Lac Labelle. Massive lake, and we're lucky enough to have a lot of square footage going across, probably the equivalent of 4 different properties going across here. As you can see, we've got a nice beautiful raft that was built a few years ago. The kids get to enjoy that in the hot summer days. And this is a place where they come after sports. They'll come after their OBA activities where they're going and doing hiking and cycling. They'll come back here before dinner for a quick dip. Outside of that, quick little wash up at night. It's just a place for the kids to have fun. So here we are at the sports field at Camp Caritas. Obviously we have tons of sports here as it is a sports camp. The boys are here playing up at the fields twice a day. Here we're at the football field. Obviously today is looking a little different. We've got our Olympic day, so there's some long jump, there's some javelin, some shot put that we're going out there. This isn't typically what it looks like. Normally it's different sports teams that are playing here. We've got some volunteer refs that come up, and the boys basically come and play here. It's a friendly league. Obviously it's a little competitive, but the major point of our national league is basically sportsmanship. We try and make sure that the teams are cooperating and above all that they're having fun while they play the sports. So if you come follow me over here, we'll go to the Cosm Hockey where we play our basketball and hockey. So this is our basketball / hockey rink. This is one of the sports of the National League program. So whenever the boys basically have the basketball or hockey as a sport, they come here and they kind of do a half-half. They'll play either basketball or hockey first, and then at the halfway mark, they'll switch. So here we've got the beautiful baseball diamond. We currently have the kids running around the bases to see who's the quickest, but normally they actually have to hit the ball first. This is John Baxter's favorite sport. It's the first sport that was here at Camp Caritas, and then we kind of expanded the land. One of the 5 main sports at National League. Like I said, we've got soccer, rugby, baseball, we've got the flag football, and then we have the sort of mix of basketball and hockey. So welcome to the cabins. This is here at Camp Caritas. This is where the campers come and sleep. Not much else goes on other than getting changed, sleeping, and then getting out for the rest of the day. The main cabins we've got are Odyssey, we've got Genesis, we've got Golden Eagle, we've got Shake On, we've got Eagle's Nest, we've got Phoenix, Olympus, and then Everest. This is the Fire Talk area. This is where the kids are coming every single night. It's arguably the most important part of camp. Obviously, we're a sports camp. Our slogan is a sports camp with a difference. In my opinion, this is the difference. This is where kids come. We basically have a big discussion around the fire. The leaders of every cabin will sponsor a certain topic, whether it's on maturity, leadership, their faith, any sort of maturity building exercises. And then it gives an opportunity for everyone to sort of vocalize their thoughts and give their ideas, but also it's very much a safe space for the young guys. We have a general rule here at camp: what's spoken in the Fire Talk stays in the Fire Talk. So we keep that rule pretty golden here, and we do our best to try and keep that sacred. And in my opinion, a lot of the campers that come back, yes, the sports are fun, yes, the OBAs, the ONPs, all that, they build a lot of friendships, but a lot of times it's within these sort of talks at the Fire Talks where they really sort of build a brotherhood and start to, mature as adults and really learn a lot about themselves. Here at camp, we have an activity. It's a big part of the day. We have it every single day throughout the entire 2 weeks. It's called the OBAs. It's the Outward Bound Activities. So it's basically anything that we do at camp that's not specifically right in the local region of the land that we own at camp. So this would be an example of that. So another program that we have here at camp, it doesn't happen as often. We call it the ONPs. It's the overnight program. So when the boys are sick of sleeping in their cabins near the Lac Labelle area, we also have about 6 different cabins throughout the forest where they can basically come. We set up some mattresses on the floor, and the kids get to experience sort of like a camping living. So a little more rural than what they're used to. We set up a little Fire Talk here. It's very, very private. A lot of times it's the sort of best discussions that we have are on these sort of ONP nights. Not as comfortable as the bunk beds, but the kids don't seem to mind. They really like the privacy that the forest offers, and obviously you get to be in nature, so it just brings about a little bit something special. So here we have our sort of night program. Volleyball is one of the biggest parts of the day. We play it pretty much every single night. The guys absolutely love it, and even if you don't love it originally, you learn to love it. Best part of the day, in my opinion. It's a chance for the kids to sort of just have fun, unwind. They're in different teams than their National League teams, so they get a bit of opportunity to meet some new kids, build some new friendships, and obviously have a bit of fun while they're doing it. So here at camp we have 2 special awards that we like to give out. We have the cap here, which is mostly based for the sports teams, our National League program. The coaches will give this out to the players when they deem that they basically are a good teammate. So that can mean a lot of things. Some kids are really good at sports but need to work a bit on including the kids who aren't as strong. Sometimes it involves the kids that maybe aren't the most active and sporty. It's just for them to give their full effort and improve their leadership skills and vocal skills. So a lot of times this hat just represents an improvement. It's something where the kids see something that they need to work on, and over the next couple days they put a lot of effort into it, and this is basically a recognition from the coach towards the players that they've really improved in it, and obviously that has to continue throughout the camp session. We have a rule where if the kid starts to slide back after he receives his hat, we're actually able to take it away. So it's really that commitment for the full 2 weeks, and obviously outside of camp once they leave. Similar thing for the hoodie. This is it's a similar award. We deem it a little bit more prestigious in terms of the rankings between the two. Obviously a lot of the camp is spent with your cabin. So this hoodie basically represents that throughout all the 2 weeks where we're learning about different leadership skills, things to improve on as a young man. This hoodie basically represents when you've made those improvements. So they're a bit they're less related to the sports program and more related to how the person is as a person. So typically they're given out at the Fire Talks. Their leader, the guy that basically their cabin, he's running it. He's telling the kids, okay, these are things that you need to work on just as a person in general. A lot of times it has to do with maturity, their commitment to their team, or their cabin rather. And basically once this guy is rewarded, it's a similar thing. They can have it taken away if they start to slide back, but rarely happens because the kids really give a lot of effort towards it. They're really proud when they start to earn it, and then once they have it, they really like to keep it. So these are the kind of 2 awards that we have at camp, and it's really beautiful at the end of the 2 weeks when you see a big wave of blue and maroon at the end of all 80 or 85 kids there that have all earned their hoodies and hats. So thank you very much for coming on this tour with us. Camp is an absolutely exceptional place. I've spent 12 years of my life here and won't take it for granted at all. It's changed me as a person, and hopefully your boys too when they come here, or if they haven't, they're more than welcome to join us. So until then, see you later.